32 FM 94.9.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much for starting your day with us on 32 FM 94.9. The program is Breaker Dawn Newspaper Review. This is the Thursday edition. Welcome. My name is Dele Adeyanju. I am not alone in the studio this morning. I have my crew, my team, my friends right here.
All right, my name is Chike Obogu. Good morning, and trust you had a splendid night rest.
My name is Bemisola Shoyemi. Thank you for joining us. You can join us live on Facebook and on YouTube, 32FM 949 Ibadan, 32FM 949 Ibadan. You can drop your comments and drop your questions for the analysts as well.
This morning I have headlines from the Daily Post newspapers and a few from the Nigerian Tribune.
All right, I also have here the Punch newspaper and the Nation newspaper this morning.
And I have on me Premium Times and Daily Trust.
Okay, headlines from the Daily Post. Army approves overhaul of obsolete logistics in Northeast Theatre of Operations. Everything happening in Afghanistan, Nigeria planned. Femi Fanikaude. Bandits break into Islamia school in Katsina. Abduct pupils. Teacher. Bandits do something beyond refusing to eat. Omokri mocks Buhari over Katsina attack. Taliban. Bandits can take over Nigerian government. Bangboche warns. Plateau crisis, you are a very weak leader. Huriwal blasts Governor Lalong. Mixed reactions trail demolition of runabout in Imo. Maritime Vice Director, the Fedua warns cadets against cultism. Election Tribunal dismisses suit seeking to sack local government chairman in Rivers. FCT, police clear air on kidnapping in Zuba. Day. Lai Mohammed denies sneaking out of Nigeria to meet Twitter executives. Edo, Governor Obaseki opens up on increasing taxes. Just a few more. Police smashes 14-member kidnapping syndicate in Adamawa, recovers 18 phones. Outrage as Buhari, Tinubu, others continue to betray APC manifesto on healthcare. Also, open grazing, time running out. Ohaneze tells Southeast governors commends Nugu. And just finally from here, Abakari, police provides update on status of investigation.
All right, from the Punch newspaper this morning, states tackle federal government today as FAAC meets. NBA advises governors. With these riders, will review the law at FAAC today and disclose our position. This is from the Benue Commissioner. Also, challenge petroleum industry account in court. Challenge Petroleum Industry Act in court. MBA Ozekome tells state governments. And we still have these stories here. Federal Executive Council approves 658 million naira for sniffer dogs. Education, others, 21 billion naira. I still have here Ogun driver accuses security firm of abandonment after suffering stroke. Oyo youths protest WAEC candidates killing, blame Amotekun. APC releases timetable for September 4th local government congresses. Doctor strike. NMA meets NARD on Friday. Patients resort to self-care. Lalong begs warring groups. Gunmen kill 5, 4 missing. These are some stories from the Punch newspaper. Finally, from the Punch newspaper this morning, call for self-defense. ACF, Middle Belt, back Masari. Ohaneze flays Governor Sokapu faults arms ban. With this rider, we will challenge Southern Kaduna arms ban in court. Sokapu. These are some headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning.
Police inspector, 6 others killed in deadly attack in Imo. That's from Premium Times. More headlines from Premium Times. Nigeria, P&ID battle at U.S. Court of Appeal. Buhari sets up steering committee on Petroleum Industry Act. I was accused of having affairs with Obasanjo Soniade Fela. That's from Onyeka Wenu. Supreme Court denies viral SANS designate list. FIRS mulls road tax law to increase revenue generation. Protests to Rocky Ibadan over alleged killing of teenager by Amotekun. Buhari, governors, others to attend son's wedding in Kano on Friday. Taliban militants raid homes of at least 4 media workers in Afghanistan. Still from Afghanistan, U.S. hopes to conclude military mission in Afghanistan August 31st. On PIB, Nigeria lost $50 billion worth of investments in 10 years. That's from the president. A few more headlines from here. APC holds local government congresses September 4. Auditor General submits 2019 audit reports to the National Assembly. And finally from here, FEC approves 16.6 billion naira for construction of Yobe Airport and others.
From the Nigerian Tribune, Lagosians to pay up to 210,175 for new vehicle number plates. Also, Balami asks court to dismiss Igboho's suit. FEC okays 21.11 billion naira contract for the aviation, education, others. Protests to Rocky Ibadan over alleged killing of teenager. Also, arm yourselves against bandits. Masari tells Katsina residents. Those are a few headlines from the Nigerian Tribune.
All right, from the Nation newspaper this morning, these headlines here. Gunmen kill 17 in Zamfara, Plateau states, with a rider 50 abducted. Court turns down government's request to dismiss Igboho's suit. And we have here NNPC targets ventures in gas-fired 5,000 megawatts. Then we have gunmen attack empty bullion van in Ondo State. Declare Buni-led caretaker panel illegal. APC chief tells court as APC council congresses to hold September 4th. Here, how I've managed diabetes for 35 years by Obasanjo. That's an interesting one to read there from the Nation newspaper. Buhari, $50 billion investment lost in 10 years without oil sector law. With this rider, Silva's implementation panel on PIA gets 12 months mandate. This is a story from the Nation newspaper. Blasphemy case, Sharia court to rule on SAN's appearance. That's the headline there from the Nation newspaper.
All right, I'll take a few from Daily Trust. Kaduna reopens schools, asks students to appear in Mufti. Nigeria to host African insurers after 21 years. On insecurity, FCT minister requests more police personnel. Union decries harassment by tax touts. And also, Afghan president lands in UAE as Taliban widens its grip over his country. Drama as local guards arrest chain policemen in Edo State. Nigerian soldiers shot dead in Katsina. Also, bandits have threatened to kill us, abducted Zamfara students. And one more headline from here. Buhari seeks better coordination with the federal government on flood management.
All right, we have the time 11 minutes past 6 o'clock. This is the program Break It Down Newspaper Review on 32 FM 94.9 Dugbe Baton. We'll take a break for some messages. When we come back, we bring in our analyst via phone and we look at the stories we have in the news today. Stay with us.
On a cool day, what do you want to do?
Make you spice up your life.
As in, collect as it hot. And chilled Sprite to take cool body.
Give your favorite pepper meal that extra vibe with a chilled bottle of Sprite, now in a new bottle. Enjoy the refreshing lemon lime taste of Sprite no matter the heat.
Johnny, you say you don't get side chick. Abi, waiting you been talk safe.
Side chick fire. I say I don't get side hustle now. We go to fetch me small money. I don't sign up to become Stanbic IBTC at East Agent.
Stanbic IBTC at East Agent? You don't mean it.
My people, we mean amo. Stanbic IBTC don't dey right next to you. You too fit become Stanbic IBTC at East Agent for your shop. Just make sure say your business stand for ground gidigba and bam, you fit easily sign up at Stanbic IBTC Bank at East Agent Bidato. Visit www.stanbicibtcbank.com to see more tori on top the matter or visit any Stanbic IBTC branch within your area.
Stanbic IBTC, it can be.
DSTV has your perfect TV match. If you know your flambe from your saute, we're serving up some
Yummy.
If high-octane dockies are more your speed, get in the driver's seat. Are you all about that drama? We'll bring it from the courtroom to the emergency room for a serious series dose. Because with a fresh new lineup of the best TV, no matter what you're into, DSTV has your perfect TV match. So get connected and stay connected to DSTV. This is your TV moment.
Many people just wonder how my toilet does to stay clean, how my toilet know they get germs. Number secret to my healthy family living. Power active clean soul toilet clean. No matter the day, make it just no say clean soul kills 99.9%.
INT'L toilet cleaner. Small change, big difference for a healthy family.
Unbelievable, but true. Canada will issue over 1.2 million permanent visas between 2021 and 2023. Canada has incredible natural resources, most especially mineral resources, but less than 15% of those massive resources have been exploited. Reason? Canada's population is very small, less than 40 million compared to USA's 350 million and China's 1.6 billion, and these are countries with smaller land area than Canada. You can also take advantage of fantastic graduate and postgraduate education in beautiful Canada and prosper. There are well over 60 immigration programs to choose from. Let Jonathan King Limited take you through the simple process and relocate to Canada with members of your family. Registration starts soon at Jonathan King Limited, 1st and 6th floors, Cocoa House, Ibadan. CMS Bookshop, Folagbade Street, beside the Cathedral of Our Savior, Ijebu-Ode.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use Comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
94.9.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. Kindly join us on Facebook and YouTube. The handle is at 32 FM 949 Ibadan. I'm Chike Ubogo, and I still have Delia Denyoju here and Bemi Sola Shoyemi. Well, so moving straight to the Nation newspaper, we still have Dr. Luo Jedoko on the standby there. Court turns down government's request to dismiss Igboho's suit. And Oyo State High Court in Ibadan yesterday rejected a request by the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami SAN, to stop hearing a suit instituted against the federal government by Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho. Adeyemo had filed the suit challenging the invasion of his Ibadan residence on the 1st of July by operatives of the Department of State Security, federal government agency. In Abuja, the Federal High Court clarified that a judge was on the ground to sign an August 4th bail warrant of the aides and associates of the agitator by Justice Obiora Egwatu. It blamed their counsel for failing to approach Justice A.R. Mohammed, who alternates as a vacation judge for the release of the detainees. The headline, the court turns down government's request to dismiss Igboho's suit.
Hello, doctor. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Okay. All right, we're going to reestablish the call with Dr. Olu Ojedokun. Hello, good morning, Doc.
Yeah. Oh, top of the day to you.
Good morning. Yes, Gbemi is here, Chike is here, and Dele Adeyonju is here.
Yes, it's a pleasure once again.
Did you get the meat of the headlines Chike read earlier?
No, it dropped off.
Oh, okay. Maybe you just repeat the headline.
Court turns down government's request to dismiss Igboho's suit. That's coming from the Federal High Court in Ibadan.
Yes, I think basically Igboho's suit really has been about, first and foremost, that there is no basis for him to be harassed, no basis for him to be detained, and no basis for him to be pursued. And I think the only issue is whether there's a substantive matter against Igbo or not. And there doesn't seem to be any substantive matter against him. Having said that, remember that Igbo is not even currently in the country. He's in Republic of Benin at the moment, facing his own challenges there. So I think until those issues are resolved, there's really little progress that can be done on the case that concerns Igbo here. But having said that, the court is not standing it down. They will still go ahead, whether Igbo is not there, because there are matters of principle to be determined, whether Igbo or not, can be charged for the offenses of so-called gun running and whatever charges the federal government is thinking of levying against him. But having said that, the way Nigerian courts run, we're not talking about things that will be quickly concluded. It's still going to take a while. And beyond that, the courts, basically most of the courts at this point in time are on vacation. So it's going to take a while for these matters to be resolved.
In other news, Dr. Ojedokun, reported by the Punch newspaper, yes, Justice Ladiran Akintola gave an order on the 4th of August at the resumed hearing and awarded 50,000 naira as cost against the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. What's the implication of this? What's the interpretation?
The federal, yes. Hello?
Hello, Doctor. Hello? Hello? All right, we have to reconnect. Okay, with Dr. Jedokun, can you hear us now? Hello?
Justice Akintola. Yes, I'm with you.
All right.
I'm with you. Hello? Yes. Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me, sir?
Very well, Dr. Jedokun.
Very well, Dr. Jedokun. Yes, so I caught the part of the court's decision, the 50,000 against the Attorney General. Many of us are not surprised because a lot of times when we look at the suits that either filed by the Attorney General or the suits that is defending and some of his pronouncements, a lot of us feel, you understand, that he's always on the wrong side or most of the time on the wrong side of the law. But 50,000, you understand, 50,000 is nothing really. I feel if the judges are going to send a message, it should be beyond the symbolic value. It should actually send a message to the Attorney General that cases that should be defended or cases that should be brought before the court, you understand, should be of substance and not mere cases where, frivolous in many instances. You would expect that the Attorney General of the Federation, when he's defending a suit, defends something of substance. And I'm afraid that many of his actions and his pronouncements do not seem to suggest that.
All right, away from that, away from court cases, let's talk about the president yesterday inaugurating the steering committee on the Petroleum Industry Act. The committee is supposed to be headed by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, that's Temipere Silva. The president announced this while marking the passage of the PIA, which is signed on August 16, and he also said that Nigeria lost an estimated $50 billion worth of investments in 10 years, created by the uncertainty of non-passage of the PIB, lack of progress and stagnation in the petroleum industry. He said the committee is tasked with completing the implementation of this act within 12 months. Now, Nigerians have been reacting to this passage, to the passage of this act, of this bill, which is now an act. And I know we've talked about how much or what's the implication or what are the implications for a common man we also got to know some days back that it's possible that the petrol price, that's the landing cost of petrol price, will increase to about 300 naira. I mean, the depot price, the price at which the common man will buy it at the point of
that's petrol pump price.
Pump price. Thank you very much. It might increase to as much as 300 naira. All of these calculations here and there, and now implementation is supposed to begin in the next 12 months.
Yes, we're at 12 months, we're at 6 months. But let's just be very clear that this bill was presented before Mr. President. He had two options. He could either have vetoed it, or, just left it. And if he left it, obviously, we are in a situation where this PIB bill has been going on for years, decades, well, at least a greater part of almost 2 decades. But the argument of people is that it's an unjust bill. Unjust act. It's an act now. It's unjust because, first and foremost, the 3%, you understand, for the home communities, host communities, and then you go and give 30% for the prospective, those prospecting for oil. So some people would argue that there's some inequity rather in the act. And then beyond that, of course, you know that the NNPC is now wrested from government control, becomes a going concern, and is broken up into a number of companies. But my own view is we can't keep on going on saying the bill is not perfect. Let's have this act, which we have now, and let another parliament or another government come in and amend it. At least if we have this act running, we can begin to fine-tune it and amend it. Of course, we know that it's not fair in many respects, but at least the purpose of this act is to bring investment. The purpose of this act is to release the government, you understand, from interference in the running of the petroleum industry, and so that would allow it to grow. As to the 300 pump price that you've alluded to, I think it's going to be a disaster. But I think the logical consequence of NNPC now becoming a private company, well, when I mean private, I mean no longer a government company, means that they will take commercial decisions. And those commercial decisions sometimes may not be in the interest of the people that are being served. 300 naira, I don't know how Nigerians are going to survive. The government will have to find a way forward, a way to cushion it, and a way to ameliorate it. Otherwise, the 300 is going to have their economic consequences on logistics, on the economy, on transport, on feeding, on all sorts of things. Can you imagine? But I think the government has to consider, as I said before, steps to ameliorate that. But we are faced with the act now. It's how we implement it and it's how we amend it in the future that remains.
Hello, Doctor. We never thought we could cope with 162 naira, 165 naira. We thought from 65 naira, anything above is going to be a disaster for Nigerians. Hello, Doctor.
Hello, Doctor. Yes, I'm with you.
I said we never thought we could survive 165 naira. We thought earlier that anything above 65 naira would be a disaster on Nigerians.
Yes, remember that, that people were screaming blue murder when it was being increased. But the fact is that how many other increases can we survive? Remember, there's also the electricity tariff that is coming on board. There are so many other prices that are going up. So yes, Nigerians will find a way to survive it. But the fact is that they are the unspoken and the unseen people, the people that don't come to the pages of the newspaper or don't come to the radio, that are suffering daily. There are very many people that cannot eat more than one meal a day. That's going to increase. Poverty is going to increase. And with poverty, you know what the implications are. Criminality and all sorts of things. Poverty. So my own view about it is that government still must intervene, because if we take it for granted, that the circumstances may explode.
All right, Doctor. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
clearly.
now you talked about waiting for another parliament to begin or to work on amendments of this particular act. Does that mean Nigerians will have to put up with this bill or with the unfair part of this act, rather, until that period? Because we're talking about another more than a year, 2 years, so to say.
Yes. possibly more than that. And the reason why I say that is that what really is the alternative? The president has signed the thing, which means it is the law of the land. And so we really just have to be patient. This government is going to expire in 2023. And so therefore, rather than China airs out and saying, well, we don't want the act, he signed it, you understand? So it is law. So we must begin to mobilize, we must begin to plan, and we must begin to lobby ahead, you understand, for the future, and even come up with our own alternative. You see, the reason why the PIB or the act is now an act, is no more longer PIB, was passed in that way, was because the north looked at after its interest. They mobilized, they caucused, you understand, they were united. Whereas in the south, you understand, southeast, and the southwest, they didn't really do that. So of course, we have ourselves to blame if the North has been able to come up with a common position. So we learn lessons from that, we move forward, and in 1 year or 2 years' time, or whatever the case might be, we present amendments, and we make sure that we get support for it.
All right, Doctor. From here, I have reports, and this report is drawn from the current situation in Afghanistan. Taliban have taken over the entire country, and some Nigerians are saying that if we are not careful, Nigeria may one day toe that line of Afghanistan. Already, Nigerians are putting their legs in the shoes of Afghanistan, though they might not have walked a mile in that shoes. And we have somebody, the National Coordinator of Concerned Advocates for Good Governance, Olusegun Bangbose, warning that bandits one day could as well achieve what Taliban perfected in Afghanistan recently. Do you think it may go near that way, not even particularly that way, maybe near that way someday, if the issue of banditry is not actually nipped at the moment, though it's already almost too late, but it's never too late to get anything done?
Well, I wouldn't compare the Nigerian situation with the Afghan situation. But having said that, on the index of terrorism, Nigeria is number 3 in the world. You understand? I mean, so you have Afghanistan that is even above us, and another country which I can't readily remember. So whilst the situation is not the same, you understand, the common denominator is that there's violence. The common denominator is that we have a group which believes, I don't believe that that's what Islam says, but there's a group which believes that they are Islamists. There's a group which believes that they're following the Quran. And there's a group who believes that every other person that does not agree to their interpretation of the Quran and the Surah and their deeds are infidels and need to be killed, and that Western education, is haram. From that point of view. But I would say what I think. I think that if the federal government doesn't address the security concerns, it's unlikely we would have the kind of Afghanistan-style kind of thing. It's likely we'll break up, into various beats, you understand, various fiefdoms, various statelets from that point of view. So our situation will be far worse than Afghanistan. At least Afghanistan is holding together. Apart from a province towards the north, which is resisting the Taliban, it's basically holding together. I don't see us holding together if we continue. I see us, I don't want it to happen, and I'm not advocating it, and I'm not suggesting it should happen, but I'm also indicating that if the federal government does not get a grip of the security architecture, that we are likely to splinter in a violent way. From that point of view. So it's going to be far worse than the Afghan situation, or rather than on the same level with the Afghanistan situation.
The fight against banditry, it seems as the federal government is losing some, the bandits are winning some, as we are getting some strongholds of the bandits down, as we are pulling them down. Then in other places, they are pulling out surprises.
Oh, yes. In other words, our military is stretched, our police is ineffective, our security architecture is collapsing on a daily basis. Yes, we know that, from that point of view. But even the banditry have limits. Their limits tend to be the outlying areas, not the main towns, at least not in the south, south, maybe in the north, some of the main towns. So they can only, have a kind of raids for a period of time, and then they dissolve into the countryside from that point of view. So it is true that we don't have a grip. But I think that if the federal government gets its act together, I think if we are able to get a master the security architecture sooner than later and deal with the social economic issues, because the reasons why you have bandits anyway is because of social economic issues. They are teeming people in the north, and even some parts of the south who have no job. And the only job that they have resorted to is banditry and kidnapping. And I hate to call them bandits because really they are terrorists. But if the federal government is able to get a grip, we may still be able to recapture and re-establish law and order in many of these parts. So I don't think it's a situation that we've lost control completely. It will just take a government that knows what it's doing, a government that has its priority right, and a government that is serious about the territorial integrity of Nigeria.
All right, Doctor. Quickly, let's rule out comparisons and all that. Let me ask you this question: what is the effect of the Taliban takeover on Africa? And let's look at the micro level, Nigeria.
Well, first and foremost, if you look at some of the reports, you will see the sophisticated weaponry that has increasingly in the hands of the Taliban, and some of them are in the hands of nobody. So I think for Africa, our fear is that some of these weapons will make their way smuggled and come to Africa and further destabilize Africa from that point of view. But there's also another element to it, that this will be, if Taliban indeed succeed, then of course we have an Islamic Republic, you understand, another Islamic Republic, with Pakistan is one, Saudi Arabia is one, there are quite few. And it might give encouragement, particularly to areas like Mozambique, where there's an ongoing insurgency going based on Islam, for some of the Islamists so-called to want to take over, you understand, and to feel that they could succeed in many countries in bringing absolute Islam, not in terms of convincing people to become Muslims, but in terms of governing people with an Islamic agenda from that point of view. So I think for Africa, it raises the questions as to how many more countries, you understand, are going to come under the sway and influence of the Taliban. But also, I think the more poignant lessons for me, is that America's interests are selfish national interests, and that America is likely to cut and run when it gets difficult. So if people are relying on America, on the West, I would tell them not to rely on them, but to rely on themselves. Because if it gets very hot, you understand, they will cut, they will run, and they will abandon us.
All right, thank you, Doctor. We have to take a break now. We'll be back for more analysis and, of course, for your contributions. Stay with us.
Egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí, egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni, ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
Ojú rẹ̀ ṣàǹjọ̀lọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Veneton cleanser ni.
Já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́.
Veneton cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí bádọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. Inú tó ń kú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Amọ̀nà ti dé o. Veneton cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé. NAFDAC Fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Veneton cleanser jáde. A wà ní nọ́mbà 17 Ọba Akínyẹlé off Adeogun Street, Aláàfin Avenue, Olúyọ̀lé Estate, Ring Road, Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08034051533. Fún títà àti rírà, ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Veneton cleanser, àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
Nowadays, small thing you don dey hear, chairman do give away, master do give away. But the thing be say, the giveaway no dey ever reach everybody hand. After all, how many people chairman wan bless? He cannot come and go and kill himself, abi? Instead, if you dey find better giveaway awoof wey yakpa for town, make you join the ogbonge yellow awoof giveaway. Whether you be existing MTN customer, you go dey jollificate with extra 500% bonus anytime you recharge with 100 naira or more on top MTN Better Talk. And if you be the kind customer wey dey like everyday awoof, na star 888 star pin hash you go take recharge to take enjoy 6 times awoof bonus when you recharge any amount on top MTN awoof for you. And if you be Johnny Just Come or new MTN customer, you go dey enjoy 700% extra bonus every time wey you recharge 100 naira or more on top MTN nyafu nyafu. So no dull yourself o, turn up awoof with the bust brain.
Everywhere you go, MTN. lọ mú àpò rẹ̀bẹ̀tẹ̀ bílíṣì àìpò méjì fún mi.
Máàmì méjì báwo.
Torí pé màá fi kan rẹ àwọn aṣọ funfun yìí màá fi kan tó kùn pa gbogbo kòkòrò.
Ṣùgbọ́n èmi ò rí kòkòrò bíbá ẹ̀ máàmì.
Wo wọ́n kéré débi pé o ò lè fojú rí wọn ṣùgbọ́n wá ìdí nìyẹn tọkàn mi fi balẹ̀ lórí bílíṣì àìpò láti pa wọ́n pátápátá.
Jẹ́ káṣọ funfun rẹ funfun sí i kí ilé rẹ sì bọ́ lọ́wọ́ kòkòrò àìfojúrí tí ń fa àìsàn. Agbára àfọ̀mọ́ tó wà nínú bílíṣì àìpò yóò pa gbogbo kòkòrò àìfojúrí pátápátá.
With star 966 hash easy banking, you can open a Zenith Bank account, purchase airtime and data, make transfers to any bank in Nigeria, pay bills and make POS payments, create a wallet account, and perform other self-service options like PIN and password reset and temporary blockage of your account. Star 966 hash is fast, easy, and convenient. And more importantly, it can be used on any phone type as it requires no data. Dial star 966 hash to get started now. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Babe, that girl must be using something.
Hey, Berry, what kind of something?
You to see how she's always smiling, displaying her 32.
You're cuckoo right. I know her secrets. I know what she's using. She uses it twice a day.
Tell me her secrets.
I'll give you a hint. ABZ.
ABZ?
Yes, ABZ is the secret. Close-Up contains antibacterial zinc, ABZ, which gives you 3 times more freshness and 3 times more protection. Better than your regular toothpaste. Now you know the ABZ secret.
The new Close-Up is her secret. Everybody must hear.
You can't keep a secret.
New Close-Up with antibacterial zinc. Triple the freshness, triple the protection.
Celebrate something big with Showmax this football season. Pay for 1 month of Showmax Pro or Showmax Pro Mobile and get a second month on us to watch mind-blowing football in action from the world's best leagues. That's every breathtaking tackle, save, goal, and more from the EPL, La Liga, Serie A, and DStv Premiership. Live from Supersport at 50% off. Sign up at showmax.com and get more for less.
94.9.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. We have some messages on Facebook, and you can also watch us live on YouTube. So, baby.
Yeah, all right. Let's take a few from air. Adigo Kishion, Abiodun Falai, Omobasharon Abiola, and thank you. This one from Kazim Mastadiolu says, good morning, the entire crew. The Taliban that took over Afghans is awesome. Something serious is looming in Nigeria. I think strong tactics must be built, and Nigerian governments must wake up if Nigeria will not confiscate to terrorism in the future. Prince Ikirugua says, good morning. I won't blame the Taliban from defending their soil. Why did America want to force Western way of life on a sovereign country from many miles away? Why can't America do same in Saudi Arabia and Iran? Adigo Keshion says there should be resource control so that it will replace PIA, that's the Petroleum Industry Act, because there is no good substance for the PIB. Okay, Omoba Sharon says, good morning. My own opinion on the Western inclusion in other country governance is for their own personal gain and not to assist in any way. The main point is each government should focus on their own personal issues and deal with it wisely. God bless Nigeria. All right, we'll take other comments later on. Let's quickly talk about some other headlines. I have this in Daily Trust, and it says Kaduna reopens schools, asks students to appear in Mufti. The Kaduna State government has announced that schools in the state will reopen on Wednesday, 18th of August, 2021. It, however, said the resumption affects junior secondary school 3 students only. The Commissioner for Education, Shehu Mohammed, said the affected students would have to appear in Mufti. Now, over the last few weeks, there have been issues with banditry and some would say terrorism in the north, and of course some schools were closed for that reason. Now some of them would have to open up because very soon there are exams that would have to be written. So we are here talking about whether or not the schools should open, or if these if the government should just close down all the schools, because in the long run it's the students that are affected by these things. They have exams to write. They have to meet up with people from other regions, from other parts of the country. And let's see if we have been able to reconnect with Dr.
Yes, I am. I am here. I can hear you. It's a very pathetic situation, isn't it? A deep sea and the rock. And why do I say that? At the end of the day, you want our children to be educated. You want our children to learn. Well, how can they learn? Under the threat of terrorism, under the threat of kidnapping, and so we have a situation where the children cannot learn readily, and at the same time, they're staying at home. And so you have to ask the question, how long can this go on for? Is it sustainable? Of course it's not sustainable, from that point of view, because as you said, they would have to do exams, they would have to go to the next stage. But they can only do this if the government can guarantee security. So I think there are two things. The government must guarantee security, and the government must ensure that they can learn in a conducive environment. If the government cannot guarantee this, then it's better that they learn from home rather than our children being subjected, you understand, to the trauma and the horrors of kidnapping. So it's an unfortunate situation, but it's good news that at least some of them are returning. And let's hope the government can guarantee their security. Otherwise, the government should really just suspend their return. And some people say, can they do that forever? Of course not. But they can do it for a sufficient time for them to gain the upper hand in terms of security.
Dr. Edokun, do you think it's a wise move for government to tell students to appear in school in mufti? Do you think all those kidnappers really care if they are in mufti or in uniform? Once they see a group of students and they just carry them, and it's easier for the government to absolve itself, saying that those people kidnapped are not actually students. They are just anybody because they are not in school uniform. What do you say to this?
Well, I don't see that it will stop the terrorists from kidnapping. But if they are targeting a particular school, then they may no longer be able to target schools. And what it means is that they will just target children, irrespective of whatever schools. But it's not going to stop the terrorists. It's not going to provide them with security. It's just going to mean that, you understand, many more children, wherever they are, will become targets for this so-called terrorists from that point of view. So I think the government wants to be seen to be doing something. But as you said, and as you suggested, it's not going to stop them. What's going to stop them, you understand, is going to be better security, better network. What's going to stop them is if they deal with the root causes of this so-called terrorism, the social economic issues, and that's what's going to stop them in the long run from that point of view. So this is not going to stop them, I agree with you. It's just a sort of palliative. So that we feel that the government is doing something.
Yeah, yesterday there was a video circulating on social media, and we saw the abducted Zamfara students begging that the government should help. Their parents should come to their rescue, pay the ransom, and let them return them safely. Now, by the time these students return back to their families, do you think they would even want to continue with education? Because psychologically, will they be ready to continue with education?
Well, if we are in the Western world, what will happen is that they will provide them all the support they need, counseling, and all the psychological intervention that they need. But Nigeria, nobody provides really counseling. So the trauma lives with them. So, of course, for many of them, it's going to be difficult for them to be able to maintain the former lives that they had, to learn, to be educated. And some of them may never want to return. So there's going to be a high fallout rate. We know that. And I don't think the government is sufficiently equipped or prepared. So there are long-term implications. And even if they return to school, there are still long-term implications, even for their lifestyle choices, for what's going to happen to them. Because many of these children, don't just tell me that they will give them coke and biscuit and be patted on the head. Many of them will face abuse. Many of them will face maltreatment. And so it's going to live with them for a long time. So it's better that we prevent this from occurring than for it to occur in the first place, because of the fact that many of them may, because of that, not want to return to school, because they would always associate their kidnapping with the fact that they were kidnapped when they were being educated. So it has long-term repercussions for the North particularly, and for their ability, you understand, to educate their children, and which means we are in a chicken and egg situation, because if they are not educated, then how can they be useful to the state economy? How can they be independent of state? So there are so many questions for the future that we have to really consider.
All right, Doctor. Thanks for your submission there. You can join this conversation. The numbers to call 070-550-949 and 080-97,949. We'll open the phone lines after this short break. Don't go away. Stay tuned.
bọ́nà kan ò ṣe wọjà nígbà aṣẹ́ kan ò ṣe tó jẹ mọ́ lásìkò tá a wà yìí láti wá tètè gúnlẹ̀ sébùtì ògo la fi ní ká fọwọ́ wà fàjẹ̀wà pẹ̀lú multilevel marketing cooperative investment credit society limited ẹgbẹ́ alájẹsẹ́kù tí bá ní ìpìlẹ̀ ọ̀la ká lè bá tètè roko délé ajé lójú ọjọ́ pẹ̀lú kátàkárà lórí àwọn kò ṣeé má ní ojoojúmọ́ bíi herbal food supplement àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ a jẹ́ pé gbogbo ẹni tó bá darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ alájẹsẹ́kù multilevel marketing ni ó jàǹfààní ètò ẹ̀yáwó ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan láti dáṣẹ́ tara wọn lẹ̀ bákan náà ni gbogbo ẹni tó bá darapọ̀ mọ́ wa pẹ̀lú owó wọn ni ó máa gba èrè gọbọi lóṣooṣù èyí kì í ṣe sogún dogójì o fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ẹ kàn sí multilevel marketing cooperative investment credit society limited lónìí ní health concern building lẹ́bàá MRS filling station nítòsí bishop phillips academy Iwo Road Ìbàdàn tàbí lọ́fíìsì wa tó wà ní stanbic bank building Niger West area challenge Ìbàdàn ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ 090504816 090504816 pẹ̀lú multilevel marketing cooperative investment credit society limited wàá roko délé ajé.
With INT'L Home Broadband device, your home is connected and you all can focus on the important things in life. Enjoy the finer things in life in the INT'L HBB seasonal offer. Visit any certified INT'L shop to get a 4G MiFi at 9,999 Naira plus up to 55 gigabyte bonus data or router at 19,999 Naira plus up to 160 gigabyte bonus data. Offer valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions apply.
INT'L, the smartphone network.
Orílẹ̀-èdè Canada ó fún èèyàn tó lé ní mílíọ̀nù kan ní ìwé ọmọ onílẹ̀ láàrin ọdún 2021 sí 2023. Kò jẹ́jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí orílẹ̀-èdè Canada yóò fáwọn èèyàn tó lé ní mílíọ̀nù kan ní ìwé ọmọ onílẹ̀ láàrin ọdún 2021 sí 2023. Ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ ohun àlùmọ́ọ́nì ilẹ̀ ló sodo sí orílẹ̀-èdè Canada. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìbá díẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti ṣàmúlò láàrin ẹgbàágbèje ohun àlùmọ́ọ́nì ọ̀hún. Èyí rí bẹ́ẹ̀ látàrí ọ̀wọ́n ènìyàn tó ń bórílẹ̀-èdè náà fẹ́ra. Bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé Canada ní orílẹ̀-èdè kejì tó nílẹ̀ jùlọ lágbàáyé ṣùgbọ́n ìwọ̀nba èèyàn péréte ló ń gbé orílẹ̀-èdè náà. Onírúurú ètò láti rìnrìn àjò lọ sí orílẹ̀-èdè Canada ló ti wà ńlẹ̀. Ìwọ náà lè lo àǹfààní ètò àti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kó o sì máa ṣiṣẹ́. Aṣáájú agbaninímọ̀ràn bá a ti rìnrìn àjò káàkiri àgbáyé ní Jonathan King Limited kàn sí wọn lónìí wọn ó sì fọ̀nà hàn.
Ìforúkọsílẹ̀ yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ láìpẹ́ ní Jonathan King Limited Ajakini àti Ìkẹfà Cocoa House Ìbàdàn àti ní The Bronx Bookshop lẹ́bàá Saviour Cathedral níjẹ̀bú Òde.
Let your kids' imaginations run wild as they blast off into a whole new world of awesome edutainment on DSTV. There's a huge selection of shows to choose from, like Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir on Disney Channel.
She's so amazing.
A Week to Beat the World on Da Vinci.
I've never seen a sport like it.
Grizzy and the Lemmings on Boomerang. And Nick Music on Nicktunes.
Can I get a drum roll, please?
It's your moment to get and stay connected to the wonderful world of DSTV.
Babe, that girl must be using something.
Hey, Berry, what kind of something?
You to see how she's always smiling, displaying her 32.
You're cuckoo right. I know her secrets. I know what she's using. She uses it twice a day.
Tell me her secrets.
I'll give you a hint. ABZ.
ABZ?
Yes, ABZ is the secret. Close-Up contains antibacterial zinc, ABZ, which gives you 3 times more freshness and 3 times more protection. Better than your regular toothpaste. Now you know the ABZ secret.
The new Close-Up is her secret. Everybody must hear.
You can't keep a secret.
New Close-Up with antibacterial zinc. Triple the freshness, triple the protection.
Láti gòkè àgùnlà láyé èèyàn nílò ìtọ́sọ́nà ẹni tó mọ̀nà débi àṣeyọrí FMH International HR àwọn ni gbajúgbajà akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ alárinà tó mọ ojúlẹ̀jà bá ti ń tọ́ni sọ́nà finimọ̀nà nípa bí gbogbo òǹwáṣẹ́ ṣe lè pàdé àwọn òǹgbanisíṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR alábàáṣepọ̀ gidi ni wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group láti jùmọ̀ tọpinpin wàhálà táwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn ń kojú nídìí ìgbìyànjú ajé lọ sílẹ̀ òkèèrè ìyẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ international migration àti international labour activities.
ǹjẹ́ o tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé o nílò ìmọ̀ tó jinlẹ̀ dáadáa nípa ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé láwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú tó fẹ́ gbà sọdá sílẹ̀ òkèèrè lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí United Nations Volunteer Research Group pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ FMH International HR ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn àti ìpèníjà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní questionnaires táwọn òṣìṣẹ́ FMH bá fún yín lágbègbè yín lẹ́ẹ̀ ṣàlàyé ìrírí yín sí.
fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kàn sí wọn ní 3rd and 9th floor Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn.
telephone 0817 4444 627
àti 081 68 73 7222.
All
right, welcome back. It's still the Break of Dawn Paper Review on 32 FM 94.9. The phone lines will be open now, 070-550-949, 080-970-949. You can also follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. The handle is at 32FM 949 Ibadan. We have this headline on the Punch newspaper, Bemi.
Yes, it happened yesterday. In Punch, it says, Oyo youth protest WASC candidates killing, blame Amotekun. There was pandemonium in Ibadan, Oyo State on Wednesday as angry youths trooped to the streets to protest against the killing of a 16-year-old boy by some security agents. Some reported the boy to be 15 years, and the victim, whose identity could not be ascertained as of the time of filing this report, was said to be sitting the West African Senior School certificate examination. And yes,
well, there are many stories to this. Some say he was writing NECO, some say it's WAEC, some say he's 15, some say he's 16. Some say there's this story that he went to buy food 2 a.m. I don't know who, the food vendor who sell food to him at that time, and at the end of the day he was shot and all that. However, just keep your fingers crossed. There's going to be an exclusive. We'll get to meet with the family of the young guy and probably the community leader. Some said the whole thing started from the Alaro end of the Poly Road.
The robbery attack.
To the rail line at Songo, to Leventis, to Old Obakimbi School. Many stories to it. But we'll get to unveil all those things on this space on 32 FM 94.9 very soon. So let's have our phone lines on. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is the first of Omugashon. See, I've said it on this platform, and I'll keep on saying it. We are having problem of bad structure. The structure that does not have integrity. What do you expect? You can't expect any good governance with this structure. We need to change the structure. Good morning.
Calling the radio station. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah. My name is Adeshi Yomodola from UI.
Okay.
I want to comment on the matter that has to do with our leader, Sunday Igboho. Number one, I want to commend the judge who wrote and awarded 50,000 naira cost against these people to call themselves government. And you want to be surprised that was a judge, and there's another judge that is on the run. What has happened? Are we not practicing democracy that people are so jittery and panicking now under this government that you cannot even to deliver judgment? You are afraid. And you see people how people were mobilizing against us at that time. Where are they now? There is democracy, for God's sake. And I want to urge Nigeria. Let's continue to be praying for Chief Akintoye. These are people that are very bold. We're just speaking grammar here. We are not facing what they are facing. God will bless them, and by the grace of God, God will take us out of this government. Less than 2 years ago, we will sustain it. We will enjoy it. That's how the best of today.
Yes, you too. Hello, good morning. Hello,
good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling?
Alhaji Salah from Coca-Cola.
Alhaji, good morning.
Yeah. You see, the strategy by El-Rufai or government of Kaduna State that our students should appear in Mufti will not stop the kidnapping. It is only the proactive measure of the government, and I say federal government, with little effort from the state governors or government, can give us peace in this land. Remember, the security architecture is solely in the hand of the federal government. To me, the security vote given to the governors, to me, is like a gift because they don't have control over the DPO. Not to talk of a commissioner. So when you can, you don't hire, or you can't hire, you can't fire. It's only the person that can hire, that can fire.
All right,
So
thank you,
that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Alhaji.
Thank you very much. This is from Facebook. We'll get back to that after this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Your name and where you're calling from. Kindly make it very brief.
It's wrong for anyone to in the The law is clear. The governor takes care of the security of that state. when calling on the federal government always for what government should have done, they are collecting security for. The law says that before the president can take over a state of it, he must declare a state of emergency. As the president declares a state of emergency on Kaduna State, before you are condemning the president of Kaduna State security, let's follow this law. There is nothing wrong with our system. The problem is we are not following it. Thank you.
Thank you for calling the radio station. In case you're just joining us, it's 070-550-949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from. Can you make it brief?
There is no perfect constitution and there is no perfect act. If others of assembly have passed TID bills, we should have been amending it and we should have near the perfect solution to petroleum industry. We are condemning Kaduna governor by saying they should come on mostly. We are not there with security. We don't know the security information the governors has or the government of Kaduna State has. That's why they said they should go on mostly. We should be very careful about analyzing security situation in Nigeria. Have a nice time.
Thank you for calling the radio station.
All right, from his saying, Ogundijo Latif, unfortunately, no one is talking about real palliatives for the masses. The astronomical cost of food prices need to be brought down as a matter of national emergency. Employments, not audio, need to be created massively. Visible investment in agriculture, especially in the southern parts of the country, needs to be carried out urgently. Instead, they are busy talking about petroleum industry bill that will create hardship to the masses. All is well. Honorable Akinkunmi Camille also says to all people calling every day and always talking tough about this government in a bad manner, never see something good, you will think they are patriotic. They have their reasons. They will vote PDP come 2023. All is politics. All right, let's see if we can take one more call, or should we just call it a day?
Okay, one more call before we leave. Last caller.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Can you make it
This is from everybody. I'll make those that will be picking up in Kaduna in the midnight, they are wearing school uniform. Or when they did not wear uniform, would they go to school? Is it not in the school compound they will see for their exam? Have a nice day.
All right, thank you for calling. Doctor, before we leave, your final thoughts on the program this morning.
Well, I think it's good news. The case that we reviewed, the Igbo case, and the award of 50,000. As I've said before, I think the federal government needs to pay a price, a heavy price, when they get things wrong legally, rather than 50,000. But at least it's a decision in the right direction.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you for listening. I am Chike Obog.
My name is Dele Adeyoju. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Bemi Sola Shoyemi. Coming up next is the Smart Kids Show.
FM 94.9